Good afternoon. Welcome to the International Cyber Conflicts class. Today we are going to talk about an important topic, the cyber warfare. We have spent the last 2 decades worrying about cybercrime, how people are coming in and stealing information and stealing financial resources. However, cybercrime has morphed into something much more insidious and potent that we need to pay attention to, that is cyber warfare. Instead of individuals launching attacks on the internet for financial gain, countries are launching attacks on each other, or at least planning to launch attacks on each other, or preparing their strategies to launch attack on each other for political gains and strategic leverage over one another. So after land, sea, air, and space, cyber is becoming the next frontier of conflict among countries. The term cyber war has been used to describe the nation states attacking each other via the internet. This is a potent weapon in political conflicts, espionage, and propaganda. It's very difficult to detect a priori and is often recognized only after significant damage has already been done. Gaining offensive capability on the cyber battlefield figures prominently in the national strategies of many countries and is explicitly stated in the doctrines of several of them, including China, Russia, and the United States. It is generally understood that they are laying the groundwork for potential cyber conflicts by hacking networks of adversaries and allies alike. The cyber warfare incidents are increasing not only among nation states, but among terrorists, political and social organizations, and several transnational groups who nobody has control of. One early example of cyber warfare was the 1999 targeting of US government websites by suspected Chinese hackers in the aftermath of the accidental US bombing of the Chinese embassy in Belgrade. Cyber warfare since then has advanced further. It has morphed. As of mid-2011, there have been several large nuisance attacks, but mainly nuisance attacks, such as website defacements, denial of service, or service disruptions, with only occasional incidents of espionage and infrastructure probes. In rare cases, these attacks have caused large-scale failures of public internet. However, they have not resulted in large-scale injury, loss of life, or destruction of property. Future attacks could involve destruction of information and communication systems, the critical infrastructure, and also enhance psychological operations, or PSYOPs as they're called. The cyber attacks on Estonia in 2007 and Georgia in 2008 as a part of conflict with Russia hinted at the potential of cyber warfare. The prospective crippling impact to the critical national infrastructure has established the role of cyber warfare in modern conflicts. Not only is information flow disrupted, but we can also disable critical infrastructure like power, finance, and water supply. If you compare different modes of attacks on the internet, the tools and techniques for launching attacks in cyber warfare are the same as in cybercrime or cyber terrorism or hacktivism. However, the motivation differs from more political objectives of cyber warfare to the significant financial incentives of today's cybercrime. In addition, the scale, intention, and consequences can be much more severe for cyber warfare because these attacks are much more planned, with many more resources. The nations are attacking each other. One big fear is that in one of these national attacks, it could result in a kinetic attack by the other country, either deservedly or accidentally. The cyber warfare landscape is complicated, with several challenges involved in data collection, analysis, and attribution, and in understanding cyber warfare incidents. Analyzing cyber attacks follows several discrete steps, including attack detection, relevant data collection, chronology determination, damage assessment, identification, and remediation of vulnerabilities, and attribution assignment. And each of these steps poses a special challenge. There are disparate sources of data, the privacy laws that make data acquisition difficult, the lack of cross-border treaties for data sharing, use of cloaking techniques to hide identity, and volatile data that can be erased if not gathered promptly. All of that makes tackling cyber warfare extremely hard.